Together with American Songwriter, we had the chance to talk to brothers Ethan and Jeremy of Retro Color.
Adam was able to talk to Ethan and Jeremy over Zoom audio. Retro Color is a pop rock brother duo that originated in Temecula, California, with a mission to promote self-love to their fans. They draw inspiration from bands such as Green Day and Fall Out Boy. Check out their brand new record, Arcadian.
Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Bringing It Backwards and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bringing Back Pod.
We'd appreciate your support if you follow and subscribe to our podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're Bringing It Backwards with Retro Color.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Nothing much, just chilling. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it just going to be you today, Ethan?
It's me and Jeremy's here as well.
Hey, what's up?
Cool, guys. Thanks for doing this. So our podcast is about your guys' journey in the music industry and how you got to where you are today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You're brothers? Are you guys brothers?
Yep, been brothers for almost 20 years now, so.
Almost your whole lives?
Pretty much, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people ask us that, but.
So that's awesome. You're from Temecula, right?
Yeah. We've lived in Temecula for a while now. We started playing music in Temecula. We still currently live in Temecula, and yeah, probably moving down to LA pretty soon or something. But Temecula is good for right now.
Yeah, we're in San Diego. That's why I was curious. I saw that you guys were originally from Temecula. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're like neighbors almost.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on. So were you guys, did you grow up in Temecula or did you move there later?
Pretty much. Like we were just like younger kids when we moved here. So pretty much all of like our childhood friends and pretty much all throughout most of elementary school we've lived here. So
Yeah.
I'd say we pretty much grew up in Temecula. We also lived in Orange County, Aliso Viejo, and all different areas in California before Temecula, but pretty much just here.
But a majority of your life was in Temecula?
Pretty
Oh,
much, yeah.
Rad. How did you guys get into music?
Well, actually, our parents always had like musical instruments sitting around the house. They don't really play anything, and my dad likes to collect guitars. So one day I kind of just like picked one of them up and I started playing it. And then he bought a drum set as well that he was just like playing around with. And then Jeremy tried the drum set. We're like, oh, well, if I play guitar, you play drums. We got kind of a little thing going.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the origins behind.
Oh, wow.
We'd play like just like the basic rock covers, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And that was kind of like our main drive right there, was just rock music.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, with just like the family instruments and just kind of growing up around that environment led us to it. So
Our family definitely loves like rock and roll music.
yeah,
So
hasn't changed so far.
yeah, we definitely grew up in a household that loves like rock and roll, Motley Crue, Poison, like 70s, 80s rock and roll, even like modern music as well.
For sure.
So you said that your parents had you had instruments in the house, but they just didn't play, or they just noodled around on them for a little bit and they're just there?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So basically our dad had a bunch of guitars, like signed guitars, memorabilia and all that. And then he had a couple, so he has like a couple Sammy Hagar. I believe he has like a Kiss one. He has like a ton of different artists that he just got throughout the years. And then he had a couple guitars that weren't signed at all, and he eventually gave one to me. I think I was probably like 8 or something, and he was like, "Hey, Ethan, if you go to bed at bedtime tonight, I will give you this red guitar." And I was like, "What? No way! I'm going to sleep right now."
And that's funny too, because like with the whole collecting of guitars too, like at a young age, our dad told us that he was in Poison, the band, and we were like highly convinced by that.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we were like, I mean, you got these guitars, you've like, were you in this band or not?
Yeah, he definitely could have sold it because of all the rock and roll memorabilia he has.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell people, yeah, my dad's in Poison?
Sometimes we still like to say it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we like to make him feel like he was in Poison, but
How funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's how you guys got into music. When you're doing the, covers and stuff, how did you guys start writing music together? Did just from the covers?
So basically, I mean, we were a cover band for a while, like when we were younger. We didn't really like know how to write songs at that time, so we were just like, oh, we'll just play like some Guns N' Roses or Nirvana or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then we actually got other members of our band. We got a different singer, a different bass player, and she actually started writing the songs, like our very first songs we've ever written. And then eventually, like, band members changed and all that. We grew like 2-3 years older. We decided, hey, we could figure out how to write songs, and that's when I started singing for the band. And then Jeremy and I just like kind of just like sit down, like I'll bring him lyrics, or he'll even bring me lyrics sometimes with like a chord progression, a melody, and we'll just kind of like jam out to a song and just really kind of make it happen. Like the other day, Jeremy and I were hanging out, and I was just like, hey, I have these lyrics and this melody, but could you help me develop like the vibe, the feel of the song? Because I think Jeremy, as the drummer, he really helps develop like the sound of the song and just what emotion it's going to bring. So I think the drums really, really drive that aspect of the song.
100%.
Wow. And did you guys start playing? When did you start playing shows? Like how old were you when you started writing songs and stuff?
Pretty much like right away.
Well, actually, there was this one time, I'll never forget it. It goes back to our dad as well, because like our parents are super supportive of our music, and like they've always been like that. So our dad, our parents were at a show one time, and we were playing at this like bar, which is kind of funny because like we were like younger teenagers at the time, and he just like yells in there, guys, check out this 12-year-old drummer. And so I was never forget that.
I was the 12-year-old drummer. Well, he said 11-year-old drummer at first. He
Oh,
forgot my age.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think that we started playing shows when you were 12, and I was 16.
Yeah, we'd be like
15, 16. Yeah.
like every Thursday night we'd play at this open mic at this little like restaurant down the street from my house, and
Like
that
the
was like
Irish pub.
that was our gig weekly, and
How did you guys get the show? Wow, that's being young and getting that must have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a first come first serve. Like you walk in the restaurant, you talk to, his name was Brett Cohen. He passed away unfortunately a few years back. But we were like, hey man, you got a slot open for us? And he was like, yeah, sure, 15 minutes. So that's pretty much how it was. Like every week at the open mics for us.
We went every single week, and I think I don't know if people were interested because we were just like two young boys playing music that like they grew up on, and it's not even like our era of music. But I guess it kind of is because we grew up with that music. But the people at the bar, I mean, the demographic would be like 30 to 40-year-olds, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, this 12-year-old is playing Motley Crue. This 12-year-old's playing Led Zeppelin. We love that.
Yeah. That probably definitely attracted people.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's the 40th time we heard this song tonight, but we'll give these kids a try.
Oh yeah, we definitely played the cliches at one point. Like, Sweet
Wanted
Child
Dead
of
or
Mine.
Alive, Sweet Child, you name it.
That's funny. And then, so from there, what was the next thing that you guys did? What happened creatively for you?
So after the open mics, we started actually booking like shows at venues, which of course was more of like you have to like kind of, I guess, be all right to play at the venue, but a lot of venues now, they'll be like, oh, you got to sell this amount of tickets to open up for this headliner. So we would find like headliners that are playing at like the Chain Reaction, the Whiskey A Go Go, or anything.
Yeah.
And like at that point, we would do anything. We would sell the most amount of tickets to open up for these artists. So we would do that, and then it gradually progressed to getting away from like the pre-sale shows where we had to sell tickets. And we moved on to things like we did the High School Nation tour last year, which was a very, very big step for us.
Wow. Who'd you get to play with on the High School Nation tour?
The big headliner for that tour was the Plain White T's, and we played 15 shows for 3 weeks throughout California, Arizona, and Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that was
cool.
That was our first like big touring experience. First time playing outside of California, and we actually went back to Arizona. I think it was earlier this year.
Like back in January or something.
Yeah, we played a single show out in Arizona again after the tour to kind of fill in again from all those people that saw us live last year with the Plain White T's. Well, actually,
That's
Plain White
awesome.
T's didn't play in Arizona. Plain White T's played in California.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I heard my brother-in-law, he's in a band, and he played the High School Nation tour a couple of years ago too, and he was telling me it's a really cool experience. Like you just get to play different high schools, like what during their like lunch hour or something, or like after school.
Yeah, it's usually after school. There was one instance we had to do. They had to do lunchtime, and like everybody was so rushed. But it's pretty much an after school event. It's probably about like 2.5 hours long, I would say.
Wow.
But it was pretty cool. They there's how many artists do you think there were? Maybe like 10 artists.
Yeah, probably like 8 to 10 artists.
8 to 10 artists. Yeah.
But it was like the coolest experience. Like it was like all the bands and artists and crew. We were like one big family for the whole 3 weeks, and like
all stayed in the same hotel.
Yeah, it was like
it's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
That's
Thank you
cool.
to the hotel workers.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. And then, did you have a record out at that time?
No, so actually, we rebranded. We used to be called Somewhat Ace. That was what our that was our very first name. Well, actually, our first band name was called The Overload, and then like 2 weeks later, we changed it because we realized there was another band called The Overload, and so we changed it to Somewhat Ace when Jeremy was like 12 at the time. I was like 16, and then. Just recently, early last year before tour, we decided that we should probably move on from that name. That was kind of like that was definitely a first name for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we rebranded to Retro Color before this tour, just because we wanted to get our image right and all that. So we had an album out. We had 2 albums out with Somewhat Ace as our name, but we kind of trashed those songs. And just restarted fresh with Retro Color. So on tour, we only had 2 songs out. We had our song You'll Be Okay, which came out during tour, and then our self-titled song Retro Color.
Okay. And who'd you tour with, and how was that before the High School Nation tour?
Oh yeah, that was the High School Nation tour.
Oh, okay. And then you rebranded during the High School Nation tour as Retro Color?
Right before the High School Nation tour. Actually, the High School Nation tour is kind of the reason we wanted to rebrand. We're like, well, if we're going to go on this big tour, we're going to get our name like heavily put out there. We're going to want to select a name that we really, really want to keep. Mm-hmm. So that was a before tour type of thing.
Okay, yeah. And then so you put out a couple songs, and now you have a brand new full-length record out, right? Or an EP? Yeah. No, it's a full-length.
Yeah. So I think it's technically an EP because we have there's 9 tracks.
There's 9.
There's 9 tracks.
Yeah, it looks like there's 9 songs on the record.
Yeah, there's 9 songs, so I guess it would be a full length, but 2 of them are like transitional, like intermission type songs. Well, kind of, not intermission necessarily. One of them is an intro track, which is like 30 seconds long, and one of them is an outro track, which is another 30 seconds long. So when we talked to our distributors, they're like, hey, so actually this isn't considered a full length because this only has 7 full songs plus 2 additional. So it's kind of like in between an EP and a full length, I guess.
Yeah, no, I get it. Cool. And then did you record and write all those songs after you got back from the High School Nation tour?
Yeah, so Free and You'll Be Okay we started the recording process before the tour, and then I believe, was it Everything Else? I think Everything Else was right after the tour.
Pretty much, yeah, like a big songwriting spree.
Yeah, I think, because we wrote a ton of those things afterwards.
Yeah. Wow, cool. And then where'd you record the record?
Actually, 2 of the songs we recorded with our friend Daniel Wanacott down at his home studio. And then the rest of them, we've been building our own little home studio. So we did all of the rest of them by ourselves at our house.
Wow, so you have your own studio at your house?
Yeah.
Wow. Developing studio.
We definitely have enough to make an album in there so far.
Yeah.
Wow. And then did you guys produce it and everything yourselves?
Yeah, every song is produced by us besides You'll Be Okay. Free was worked on a little bit with Daniel, but the end turnaround was mainly us. But Daniel really helped us write You'll Be Okay a lot. I would say You'll Be Okay was like a 50-50 effort between Retro Color and Daniel on that song. The rest of them were pretty much produced by us.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, the record sounds great. I mean, the production value on the songs is really good.
Oh yeah, thank you. That was
Sorry, go ahead.
long adventure.
Yeah, it's awesome. And have you been able to, like, the record? When did the record just kind of came out, right? Not last month.
Yeah,
2 months ago,
out,
June.
Almost 2 months ago. So we put out our first single, Free, and then soon after the album came out, we decided we didn't want to do any more than one single because we actually announced the album release was going to be in February, I believe, and we had
earlier than we planned.
Yeah, so the album was pushed back because the distributors wanted us to write more songs for it. So we added like 2 more songs, and we just wanted to get the album out there. So we only did one single and then just put the album out.
Oh, okay. Rad. And how's was it weird putting it out during the pandemic, if you will?
We had a lot of like big plans. We're like, we're gonna try to like put together a cool like release party in LA. We're gonna want to play a ton of shows around like after the release of this album. So that part's a little weird. I always wonder like how much different the album release would be hadn't we been in the pandemic, but we're very happy with how it has turned out, and we're very grateful for like all the people that are supporting the album, especially during the pandemic, because I know that it's a tough time for everybody, and just to have the focus and attention of certain people focus on our album is just that means a lot to us.
Yeah, and like it is kind of a bummer not being able to like go on the road and play shows again too. But like now, since like how the culture has changed since the coronavirus and everything, we're finding like new ways to be more creative and to, just actually like create more content that we would never even think of, rather than just doing album tour.
Oh yeah, I got it. We've worked on a ton of YouTube videos now, so we're putting out a YouTube video every Friday or Saturday. So that's kind of like I guess making up for time that we could be using at shows.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the videos? Are they all just something different, or are they like videos to your record?
It's really just anything. Like we just did we blindfolded each other and did each other's makeup, like our stage makeup. Another one we did like the 7-second challenge. So it's like we're just trying to be as goofy as we can, just not strictly like limit it to just like music and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that's
really
that's
like get outside the box of our personalities.
If all of the videos, like in the end, we're trying to promote our album. So at like the end of the videos, be like, if you guys like this video, go check out our album, that kind of deal. We also actually just finished we did Boulevard of Broken Dreams, a Green Day cover. That's going to be put out tomorrow. I don't know when this episode's going to be aired, but the cover will probably be out.
The cover will be out.
It'll be out, yeah, definitely.
Guys, go watch our cover. It's just posted.
Yeah, there you go. Right on, guys. So have you been, aside from the videos, have you been like going live on your Instagram to perform the songs or anything like that?
We've done like 2 live streams, I believe, right?
I think we've done a couple more.
A couple more, yeah.
We did a live stream a couple weeks ago actually with Aesthetic Magazine, and the headliner was one of my favorite bands, at least one of my favorite like indie bands called Honey. So that was pretty cool to be able to virtually open up for them.
Yeah, that's rad.
So yeah,
but it's cool. I've seen like a lot of people, they've been doing like, even like a pre-sale thing for like online shows too, kind of like a virtual tour, which is pretty cool.
Oh, like on Veeps.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's rad. So you do like it's like you said a virtual tour?
Oh no, we've never done like a paid for concert yet. But
but there's other artists who are though. It's like it's interesting how they do it because they like specifically, I don't know if it's like geo-targeting or what, but they basically put out a bunch of dates. I think it was like Beartooth or something that I saw was like the first band that did it. I don't remember who it was. I think that's who it was. And they basically put out like 30 dates, like an actual tour, but it's a virtual tour, and only people in the cities that they're playing in can view the live stream. And
Whoa!
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I saw one band do it, then I saw a couple others do it, and I was like, oh my, like I wonder if this is going to be like the future of touring almost.
For a while.
Yeah, like okay, now I see what you're saying with the geofencing, like just around that specific city or whatever that can access the stream.
Exactly, yeah, and like they sell tickets and all that for that. So I mean, I think that's a pretty cool idea.
No, definitely, yeah, definitely. I talked to another artist earlier, and he's doing like a 50 states tour where he's like performing for either like, you know, the venues that are struggling right now, but it's all done through Live Nation, where he's doing a show like in every state, so to speak, for a specific venue in that state. I thought that was kind of like a similar like touring idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. And like it is like overall sad to see some of like the greatest venues, you know, like even like small clubs being shut down too because of the pandemic and stuff.
Oh, you know what was Amoeba.
Amoeba, yeah.
That had me. I was like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, Amoeba. I know, like down here in San Diego, like I know a lot of them are struggling. Casbah and some of the bigger, you know, more not bigger but more iconic names. Unfortunately, like
Shea Cafe and stuff.
Yeah, are trying to do anything to stick around. It's a weird times for sure.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. You want to tell, I have one more question. I want to know if I can get an answer from both you guys individually. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
You want to go first, Steven?
Sure. Any advice? I would say, I want to be like cliche, but Jeremy and I also said before this meeting, like, we're not going to say anything cliche this time. Yeah. But like, realistically,
well, like it's the truth.
It is the truth. I would say, like, you know, just do it. There's excuses, but there's not really a good one, you know, if that makes any sense to make music. If you don't have the right gear, you could still write lyrics. If you do have gear, but you don't know how to write lyrics or a song, you could learn how to write lyrics in a song. If you need help, I'm sure that there's other musician peers that are willing to help you. I would say, basically, just you gotta be in the right mindset. You gotta decide this is what I want to do. I want to do music. I want this to be my job, my career, and just really give it all you got if it means a lot to you.
Yeah, and totally. If that's like something you want to do for your career, I think that like overall, you have to find a purpose for your passion. And like sometimes it can be like really discouraging, you know, like at times like you feel like you're not getting anywhere with your music, or, you know, even whatever it is in the arts or industry. But it's all just about being persistent and just, you know, overall, even just growing relationships with other people, you know, like in the real world, other artists, producers and stuff like that. Just, you know, keeping your head up, because every artist starts somewhere, and they may be like, they may blow up the next morning, or they may blow up in 15 years, you know? But it's just really having the right mindset overall.
Bringing it backward.